We are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Nolan Huckeye Anthony YouTube channel. And I thank all of you for being here, wherever you may be. And of course, however you may be listening. This is why I absolutely love the YouTube game. You can go, and more specifically, the Iowa Hawkeye Sports YouTube game. You can go a week, maybe even 2 weeks without any significant news dropping down the line. And then boom, you wake up and all of a sudden you have phenomenal news that you can make one or two or sometimes even three videos of content about. And of course, the topic of discussion is the Iowa Hawkeyes basketball team receiving a commitment from in-state small forward Pryce Sandfort, who is, of course, the brother of current Iowa Hawkeye Pryce Sandfort. So we are going to be diving into that. But before we get into any of that, I want to ask you guys to consider hitting that subscribe button. We did just cross over the 1,000K subscriber mark, which I am so grateful. Iowa fans are truly, truly the best in the world. You can now send a donation or a tip if you would like through my YouTube channel on each video. Of course, I'll still put PayPal and Cash App if you want to help your boy's coffee habit out that way. And of course, like, comment, share, you know the drill. Go to 247hawkeye.com. Give me a follow on Twitter at 247hawkeye. And without further ado, let's get into this. So here's the headline, guys. Iowa basketball top target Pryce Sandfort commits to the Hawkeyes. And, you know, I had an inkling that this might happen within the next week or so, or, you know, yesterday, or I knew it was a possibility. Pryce Sandfort did visit the Iowa Hawkeyes, I believe last weekend, with another very, very high caliber, highly rated prospect as well. And all of the indications were that it went very, very well. Pryce Sandfort, of course, was given a few crystal ball predictions to go to the Iowa Hawkeyes. Before this, even Pryce Sandfort had said in multiple interviews that he hadn't pushed his brother or hadn't really talked to his brother very much about being an Iowa Hawkeye. But then once he became an Iowa Hawkeye and went through the season with the Hawks and, you know, fell in love with the school even more and the basketball program even more, he decided to start, you know, giving the wink, wink to his brother about coming to the Iowa Hawkeyes, which is so cool. And in general, guys, this is just one of the coolest stories there is. I mean, two brothers that, you know, the Iowa Hawkeyes have had this before with Connor McCaffrey and Patrick McCaffrey. I love the legacy Iowa Hawkeye stuff. We see it in football and basketball. Guys, it is so rare for someone to be good enough to play Division I sports, let alone two guys of the same, or two individuals from the same family. And on top of that, for them to be in the same age range to play at the same time. So I think it is such a cool story. By the time Pryce Sandfort gets to Iowa, his brother, I believe, will be a junior or a redshirt sophomore. I'm not 100% sure. I think he will be a junior. So let's read this a little bit. Fran McCaffrey continues to build one of the strongest classes of his Iowa coaching career. I would agree. On Saturday, four-star guard Pryce Sandfort announced that he will become a Hawkeye. Iowa has been relentlessly pursuing Sandfort since they secured a commitment from now sophomore Iowa guard Pryce Sandfort. So yes, unless Pryce Sandfort, knock on wood, gets injured and has to redshirt this year, by the time Pryce gets there, his brother Peyton will be a junior. So there's a 2-year age difference. Pryce averaged 26.6 points, 10.3 rebounds, 2.9 blocks, and 2.3 assists per game. Wow. Very, very well-rounded. Sometimes you see guys who basically only score the basketball with maybe a little bit of assists. but that's a pretty well-rounded stat sheet. That shows to me that Pryce can rebound, he can defend, he sees the court, he has great court vision at 6'7". He can also put the ball in the net, averaging 26.6 points per game. So he's very well-rounded. Let's continue reading this. Shooting 52.6% from the field and 40% from beyond the arc. Sandfort helped lead the Wolves to a 20-5 record in their first year as a program. His versatility, sharp shooting, and all-around game should transition smoothly with Fran McCaffrey's system. They showed me how fast they want to play in transition, Pryce said about what stood out during his official visit. They like to get it out and go while the defense isn't set. They see me fitting that really well. They see me shooting the three, but also their set plays. While they don't have many, they don't like to run them a ton, but they said that I fit perfectly with what they want to do offensively. I would agree. I would agree totally. They compared me to Joe Wieskamp. I would also agree with that. I would say that Pryce Sandfort is not as explosively athletic as Joe Wieskamp. That is something that Joe Wieskamp did not get enough credit for. The dude had a 40-inch vertically at the NBA Combine. But as far as the size, 6'7", the relative closeness in athleticism, I would say Pryce Sandfort is more athletic than Peyton Sandfort. So the relative closeness in athleticism, coupled with the ability to see the floor, rebound, and have a really well-rounded game, plus being pure shooters, yeah, I would say that I agree with that. I think Pryce Sandfort is probably somewhere in between a Joe Wieskamp and maybe an Aaron White with his ability to handle the rock. They said how I could shoot, drive it, and rebound well. They like how I'm smart with the ball, and they also compared me to Peyton. They say 1 through 3 mainly. They like how I can get it and go. The Hawkeyes were the first school to offer Pryce. He eventually earned offers from Nebraska, Clemson, and Drake. He also had interest from the Zags, Texas, Wisconsin, among many others. Pryce put together an outstanding AAU season that has helped him move up to number 135 in the rankings by 247 Sports. He's always been known for his ability to strip the net from deep, and his shot making remains his biggest strength, but let's give him credit for the expansion of his game. Sandfort is adding some strength, is much improved as a creator for himself and others off the dribble, and he shows some competitive spirit and leadership out there. He's building his game brick by brick and is looking more and more like that approach will mean he lands on a college campus with a solid foundation. Iowa's 2023 class now consists of 3 commitments in Sandfort, Brock Harding, and Owen Freeman. Iowa is also pushing hard for Booster Academy 4-star center JP Estrella and 4-star wing TJ Power. So listen, folks, let's wrap this up here. Number one, from the standpoint of this class for the Iowa Hawkeyes, this class is really, really strong. This is definitely one of Fran McCaffrey's best classes. I would say that this class is missing a really, really high caliber guy like we've seen in other classes, like with Luka Garza, with Tyler Cook, Joe Wieskamp. There's been other guys who are higher ranked that headline an Iowa basketball class. But this class, as far as being well-rounded, is very, very strong. Each one of the guys who are currently committed for the 2023 class are top 200 to 250 guys, okay? And I think that as of now, some of the guys are still, all 3 guys are still kind of under the radar, especially point guard Brock Harding. So this class is really, really strong all around. I love it, not to mention the commitment from 4-star small forward J.R. Coach that's the dad, Cooper Coach in the 2024 recruiting class. Here is the 2023 recruiting class. I think Iowa will probably only take one more guy if that guy is high level enough. If the guy is not high level enough, I think the Hawkeyes will be more than okay with the 3 guys they have in this class. I love this class. I love that 2 of the guys play at the same high school, play on the same AAU team in Owen Freeman and Brock Harding, and will continue that in college and will build that chemistry. By the time they get to Iowa, their chemistry will be so high. I can't even state. I mean, what guys have a chance to do that? Usually you're getting a guy from here, have never played with each other, and you build the chemistry as soon as they get onto college campus. Pryce Sandfort is considered a 4-star composite. I like his game. He can shoot it. All 3 of these guys can shoot it. All 3 of these guys have a decently high ceiling. Mainly Pryce Sandfort and Owen Freeman. I definitely expect all 3 of them to rise up the recruiting rankings a little bit. I do want to show you guys here Pryce Sandfort's recruiting profile, and I'm also going to show you guys On3's ranking of him as well here. So they see him as a high 3-star guy, 88, and the number 29th best small forward in the country. I did already read his offer sheet, but he had a pretty strong offer sheet. Iowa, Drake, Clemson, Davidson, Nebraska. I think Wisconsin offered him, Seton Hall, Washington State. The Zags were looking at him, Iowa State, Wake Forest. So that's a pretty good offer sheet, guys. I mean, there's only a handful of guys who will have a better offer sheet than what we see there. So On3 sees him as a top 100 guy, the number 22 small forward, and a 4-star player in this class. I think that's where he's going to end up on all recruiting services, is in the top 100. I think there's no question that he is a top 100 player in the country, and I only see him improving. Now, really quickly, my evaluation of his game. You guys can go watch highlights of his. As it said in the article, he's an excellent shooter. His release is so freaking quick. He's going to have no problem getting his shot off in college. I only see that improving. He can shoot from the mid-range, free throw. He can score at all 3 levels, guys. He's 6'7". He can stroke it from deep. He can score on the inside. Again, can see the floor very well, can rebound. Similar to his brother, and I would say that they're coming in with a different skill set in that Pryce is a little bit better handling the rock and maybe assisting. But if we're looking at it, the one thing that they will both have to, every high school guy has to work on, I'm not necessarily nitpicking, is defense and continuing to add to your offensive repertoire. If I was Pryce, I would be working on my athleticism, getting that vert up. But all of the key elements, foundations are there. The Hawkeyes, at the very least, are getting a shooter. We've seen him be successful with Pryce. And by the time he gets there, as well as these other recruits, Iowa will have 4 guys who have played together in many, many games outside of college. So the chemistry should be sky high once these guys get to Iowa. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for listening. Again, be sure to hit that subscribe button, help your boy out, like, comment, share. You can give your boy a donation on each YouTube video that you guys watch. Help his coffee habit out. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for listening. DBAP, don't be a pussy willow. In fact, our feelings, because your feelings just don't matter. Love you guys. See you guys next time. Go Hawks. Bye-bye.